Somebody once told me it's Thursday, and it's Neps Night in America, everybody. Welcome to Vidane TV Thursday night action here with the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series here at Las Vegas for 65 laps on the docket, brought to you by NEPsbets. Be sure to check them out over on the old Twitter machine. And just take a look at some of the trash talk that goes on before the races with these New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group guys and gals and Island boys. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the broadcast booth alongside me, Tim Terry from the Coca-Cola Series and Maritime Canada. Tim, how are we feeling tonight?
Feeling pretty good so far. Getting ready to roll the dice here this evening for 65 laps. And see a couple of drivers falling to the back of the field. That was the NEPsbet challenge that they offered. So the top three has the option of falling to the back of the field. If they win, the NEPsbet portion that goes to charity from the NEPsbets every single week gets matched this week. So it looks like Devin Marhefka and Kenny Kibbe are going to surrender second and third. I guess Keith Lord doesn't want to give to charity tonight. He wants to keep that front row position. We'll see what he can do here as we get ready to go green. He's going to put Chalou on the outside as the field looks pretty sporty lined up behind that pace car.
100%. Taking a look at the timing and scoring, 26 cars lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. Lewandowski and Lord up in the front, and you can see the starting grid rolling through on your screen here, getting ready to do battle for 65 laps here at Las Vegas. And we dose number 2 of NEPs this week. We had the Oxford 250 qualifier just a few nights ago. Very entertaining race, and more of the same here tonight. Big cars, big track, mile and a half. We saw these guys in practice over the past hour or so. Lots of quick race cars, and green flag is in the air. We are racing at Las Vegas.
These drivers practiced also during the day, Paul. It got dark after qualifying, so there might be a little more grip on this racetrack as the field works out of corner number 2, side by side for second. And Charles Lewandowski looked at the outside for the lead. Had a pretty strong run going in the Oxford 250 qualifiers presented by Lord Spotting Services earlier in the week, and now trying to solve Keith Lord for the lead. But now Stephen Dadio works to the inside. Dadio seems to excel on these mile-and-a-half racetracks. We got one around in the back. We stay green.
TJ Gerard down in the grass. It looks like he is able to hold on to it. He got that 13 pointed in the right direction, and he is going to continue on into turn number 1, but he is way off the pace and lost a lot of time there. Now 7 seconds back behind the leader. Lord still up front. Dadio slipping just a little bit in the points. Came in 37 points behind the leader in 6th place. And still Zane Farrell holding on to that lead, but just barely 3 points over Evan Belvedere. And John Peters running in the 3rd spot in points, 11 points back. So definitely a shake-up, so to speak, here over the past couple of weeks in points. And it's showing that these guys are very, very competitive here. Taking a look at the top 5 in points, all separated by 27 points. And that's going to be Brent Roy in that 5th position, the 26 car, holding on to the 5th spot in points. But here at the track, looks like Mr. Lord has everything figured out. He's got a 4/10 of a lead over Stephen Dadio, the 99.
Lord enters this evening tied for 12th in points with Devin Marhefka, and I think that's why he didn't take the NEPsbet challenge, is because Devin Marhefka did. So that kind of breaks that tie for position number 12 in points, and they're trying to stay ahead or check that Corey Casagrande. And Corey, with that beautiful blue car right now, running in position number 5 and trying to chase down Charles Lewandowski. We saw the long green flag run come into play at Charlotte. Some pit strategy being played there in the last mile-and-a-half race that we had for the Shift Marketing Design Grand National Series. And I don't want to jinx anything, Paul, but touch wood, so far through 5 laps, it looks pretty green so far.
Yeah, picking them up, putting them down here with the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group, and you can already see 5 laps in. These drivers all over the racetrack. Some guys down on that white line, right on the apron. Some all the way up by the outside safer barrier, and some of them in the couple of different lines there that you see in throughout the racetrack. And everybody given plenty of room here. A couple of new paint schemes, new colors, looks like, for the number 10 of Glessner. Zane Farrell, not entirely a pretty pink race car, but there's still a little bit of pink in that number 14 car. Running in the 11th spot. He's already up 5 spots here, 6 laps in.
He was telling me earlier that he enjoyed the pink race car. It was supposed to be for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. They let it kick around for a couple more months, but it was time to go back to white. He'll be running white for the night races. He'll be running Black for the day races is what he told me on that number 14 car. So your point leader running in position number 11, already up 5 spots and looking to pick up a couple more as he's in the thick of things right now. As you see that battle, there's Brent Roy, our most recent point winner, put it that way, in the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series. Moves up 1. He's got Ryan Messer in tow right behind him, and then Zane battling with Dale Glessner side by side for that spot.
Status quo still up front, though. Keith Lord holding on to the lead. John Peters has moved into the second position. That 09 car now has his sights set on the back bumper of that number 17, and you can see they're thundering down into turn number 1. About even, maybe a little bit faster, the 17 car, as you can see, gained about a tenth there over John Peters, the reigning defending two-time champ in that 09 car. Steve Daddio slides back to third. And how about Corey Casagrande? Solid top 5 run so far, running in fourth.
And then Mr. Belvedere making a spot in behind as he battles side by side with Chalou, the hottest driver, I think, in this series, Paul, coming into this evening. Has a couple of victories under his belt and looking to continue that momentum that he has built so far this season as he goes to the inside of the 0-1 Lewandowski and the 56 battling for position number 5 as they work off the quarter. Jason Ricker has been consistent this season, working in the top 10 in points, and Brandon Uhouse, they're actually battling for 8th place in points, and right now on the racetrack they're battling for 7th.
And new colors for that 3 car, changing it up to a little bit of a light blue there for Brandon Uhouse. Good looking paint scheme. And speaking of good looking blue paint schemes, how about that number 7 CT of Corey Casagrande? Just released on his Facebook page a couple of days ago the paint scheme he'll be running on that late model that he's got. Changing it from red to blue and under the lights here at Las Vegas. That is a sharp looking ride.
And trying to catch another blue ride in Stephen Daddio, and we saw it off the long green flag run that we had at Charlotte to kick off that race last week. Daddio really good on the short run, but seems to fade just a little bit on the longer runs of about 10 to 15 laps or so. But he's caught John Peters. Keith Lord has pulled away from this battle. Should ride on board with the 99, trying to chase down the GNG number 09 as they come down the back straightaway. And the 7 of Corey Casagrande, also a part of this battle. Side by side in behind, these guys putting on a phenomenal show so far.
100%. You can see that 99 car as we rode on board there about a half a lap ago. Just really able to get into the corners good and quick, and able to close right into the back bumper. But at that point, there's nowhere really he's able to take the run. He can't go high, can't go low, so he's going to tuck right in behind the tire tracks of the 09. And it's not quite holding him up, but it's enough to where the 7 CT of Corey Casagrande has caught back up with this 2-car tango, and it's going to be a 3-way battle here for second place.
John Peters has his hands completely full. The quickest driver in practice has a whole mirror full of black and blue. Stephen Daddio, Corey Casagrande in behind the 09. Keith Lord continues to chisel and make some time on his lead and padded to about a half second. And in behind them, Mr. Belvedere has worked his way to 5th. Uhouse is trying to pick up one on Lewandowski. Great battles throughout. Pick your poison. There's battles all over this racetrack.
Drivers starting to feel out different lines on the racetrack, kind of trying to see, do a little homework, see where they're quick, see where they can get around some of the other competition here. And everybody else pretty much getting around this racetrack single file. A couple of side-by-side battles throughout the field here, but for all in all, everybody minding their P's and Q's here. You can see Kentfield in the 76 down on the bottom side, Brent Roy up on the high side in that 26 car. He said he was going to leave all those Tim's Corner Motorsports stickers on there. Brought him good luck a couple weeks ago here, Tim.
He hasn't really been able to move a whole lot, though, since the last time we saw him, up to 14th place. Matt Kenfield, great qualifying effort for the Shift Marketing Design 76. He qualified 8th. He's currently running in 14th place, I do believe, as he's battling with the 44 of Scott McDonald. And looks like the 4 of Kenny Kibbe back there, one of those drivers that took the NEPs challenge, working his way through the field. Marhefka right in behind. And Mike Hopkins, look at that 78. That is a pristine car. Not a mark on it so far through 15 laps.
Great looking race cars all the way throughout this field here under the lights at Las Vegas. First time we've had a night race in just a little bit here on Verdane TV, and it's very cool to see, especially these NEPs guys with their paint schemes all related to them in one way or another, either cars that they've driven in real life or maybe a family member drove or a car that they work on at the track. A lot of representation from Stafford Speedway, from Jennerstown, from Oxford, all sorts of different racetracks throughout the Northeast here. And it's always fun to get up on NEPs night in America. And well, you got to get caught up on Twitter with all the trash talking between the drivers, the fans, the sponsors, everybody involved here at NEPs. But then you got to tune into Verdane TV and catch some of this action, and you can see we've been clean and green. 17 laps here so far at Las Vegas, and everybody minding their P's and Q's here, Tim. Everybody pretty much behaving themselves. But once we get to halfway and a little bit closer towards the end of the race, I think business will pick up in a rapid way.
This is a tale of two runs so far. The 7 of Casa Grande was up to the battle with Stephen Daddio, and now he's backed off that, and he's got a freight train in behind him. It was just him and Evan Belvedere for position number 4, but now it's a kind of a conga line here. You got Chalou, you've got Jason Ricker, you've got Brandon Uhouse. I think Dale Glessner's in this little train as well. So you got a couple of drivers that are trying to work by the 7 CT, but Corey's still doing a great job here, keeping up position number 4 and fending off the 56.
A little bit further on back, we take a look at the number 10 car of Dale Glessner holding off Libby and Messer there in the 46 and the 1 side by side in behind him. Brent Roy there in the 26 as well. Glessner's up 10 spots from where he qualified, currently running in the 9th position, biggest move of the race so far, and still going strong. There you see Zane Farrell joining the party as well. Here comes the 4 car of Kenny Kibbe, and he again started in the back after qualifying on the front row, and you can see that car is very, very quick, able to close up in the back bumper of Libby. Is now Messer going to try and get down underneath Glessner, loses the car just a little bit, starts to push, has to back up. That's going to open the door for both Glessner to get back around, and here comes Brent Roy as well. Looks like he's going to try and bring everybody up along on that high side.
We talked about him slipping back a little bit or not moving, and now Roy moves up into the top 10. Ryan Messer right in behind him, and Dale Glessner trying to hold him off the 10. Has that pack in behind, and Ryan Libby trying to make a move. I think I just caught, potentially that might have been Keith Lord and John Peters going at it, and that would be for the lead, and indeed it is. The 09 goes to the inside, and out of nowhere, really, because about 10 laps ago, we were talking about John Peters being a half second behind and Keith Lord on cruise control, and now they're side by side for the top spot.
And the advantage right now going to go to Lord briefly because he's able to really hang that thing open when they come out of the corners. You can see John Peters doing everything he can to try and make the magic happen there on the bottom side, but has to slow up just a little bit. And as soon as I say that, he drops the hammer and he's going to take the advantage here. Slide job right up in front of Lord. New leader, John Peters, the 09 car, to the point.
And now we'll see if Peters can pull away. He was able to gain in that 5 to 6 tenths of a second, and now Lord going to do that crossover, poke that nose down to the inside, and see what he can do for that top spot as they continue to battle. Daddio gets a little bit closer, now within a half second. Casa Grande within a second of this battle for the lead. And oh, by the way, we're 22 laps in this time by Paul, 65 laps in this race. Did talk to or hear some of those drivers pre-race talking about potentially green flag pit stops. So that might be a thing here in a couple laps that we do see with strategy. They have enough tires in the pits. There are 3 sets of tires total in this race, so 2 sitting in the pit area for these guys. But the way this is looking, they might have to bring these things down on the pit road under green.
And that's going to be something to really keep your eyes peeled and keep a lookout for, because we did see a lot of these drivers. They were looking for fast times, kind of practicing the qualifying and everything like that, trying to get all the speed that they possibly can out of these Xfinity cars. And I didn't really see too many guys come down pit road, try and stop, make sure they get down, make sure they slow down enough on the apron to get into pit road without getting a speeding penalty or even coming back onto the racetrack. So not to say that they didn't do it, but it's going to be interesting to see who did their homework here with green flag pit stops on the horizon.
And every driver that started this race is currently on the lead lap. DJ Girard had that little slide early in this race. He is still on the lead lap, sitting in 26, about 17 seconds behind. And as you can see, kind of all by himself around this racetrack, and no one to really catch the next car up is about 3 seconds up in Jeffrey Brown. So the lead is now a 0.8 of a second gap back to Stephen Daddio. Daddio has made the move on Keith Lord, and What was earlier, we talked about Lord building up the lead. He's falling back into the clutches of a side-by-side battle behind him as Mr. Belvedere tries to clear Corey Casagrande for that spot. I think he will here off of corner number 4 as I say that Casagrande fights back on the outside.
Chalu Performance on the hood just announced they're going to be on board that 7CT car IRL in real life for Corey Casagrande and the 7CT machine. And you can see still trying to hold on to that position. Man, oh man, is that tight. Evan Belvedere taking a little swipe at him there, trying to let him intimidate him just a little bit. And there you can see he's going to be able to kind of turn down a little bit extra in that corner and get that cleared position. So move the Belvedere machine up to 4th. Corey Casagrande still in the top 5, but back to 5th.
So I think the biggest thing we can take from this first 26-lap run is that Keith Lord really good on the short run. Stephen Daddio is kind of even when it comes to the long run to the short run. Is still sitting in position number 2. But John Peters, we get that long run of about 15 laps or more. That thing takes off and takes off like a rocket ship. It's currently over a second ahead of the rest of this field, led by Daddio, Lord, Mr. Belvedere, and Corey Casagrande. Jason Ricker has put the boots on this evening. He is up to 6th from position number 14, and Charles Lewandowski, Brandon Newhouse, Brett Roy, and looks like Mike Hopkins has made the top 10. Mr. Magnum up here battling it out. Great run for him.
And he's got a double dose of Kibby and Libby right in behind him, the 4 and the 46, side by side behind that number 78, trying to hold off that position, trying to hold on to the top 10 there. But he's had a great run so far, up 5 spots from where he qualified in that number 78 machine, and everything looks clean so far, so that's good news for Hopkins and the 78 machine.
Yeah, having a great run, and car looks clean, and he's got Libby and Kibby right behind him. Kibby started at the back of the field after taking the NEPbets challenge. Ryan Libby qualified 13th, so still kind of hanging where he was when we started this race, but still plenty of work to do here. Zane Farrell right in behind this pack as well. Don't usually talk about Zane until the final quarter of this race or so, but Paul, believe it or not, with all these laps coming by under green, we're closing in very quickly on the halfway point. 29 of the 65 laps already completed.
And I think that's when we're going to see some of these drivers maybe try and force the hand just a little bit. We've got a long green flag feeling race here. Green, all 30 laps so far. I think we might see some of these drivers come down pit lane, and just as I say that, it looks like the 48 of Brian Shipp is going to peel off and come down pit road, get some service on that number 48 machine, and that may very well force the hand of some of these faster guys or some of these other guys here, as everybody is, they're going to see just how quick those tires are on that 48 car, and they're going to have to come down and make the magic happen for themselves.
The fans loving this racing action here this evening as we have a battle for position number 3 on our hands, and Mr. Belvedere has a friend along with them. Corey Casagrande picks up one more spot as well, move the 56 to 3rd, move the 7CT to 4th, and Keith Lord on this long run falling back to position number 5. You best believe he is screaming for tires on that race car to get a little bit of speed out of it. John Peters has pulled away. It was a second about 5 laps ago. It's now doubled to over 2 seconds the gap. Back to Stephen Daddio. Belvedere, Casagrande, and Lord, your top 5. As everybody on this racetrack, with the exception of Shipp, still on the lead lap. And pit road, a quiet place still right now. So we'll wait and see when the leaders decide to force ahead. I would think, Paul, it would be about halfway as we see Dylan Kopech, who's qualified in to the GNG's Oxford 250, but had a tough run in that qualifying race. There's Libby. There's Go. Hello. Libby gets sideways on the pit road.
Little sideways actions for Libbles and Kibbles, and you can see we'll have to double check, see if there's a penalty on that 46 car. A little hot to trot coming in to pit road here, but that's 2 more drivers down. Yes.
Both have black flags.
Both have black flags. That is big news for both the 4 and the 46, and they're going to have to come back down. Ryan Libby coming into tonight 7th in points, and Kibby just a little bit further on down the board. So that is, nope, just kidding. Kibby coming in 4th in points. So that is big news with a great big field here tonight. 26 cars still on the racetrack, and a whole bunch more drivers coming down pit road.
There's the one, a Messer on pit road, and you mentioned those black flags. If they are pit entry black flags, which I believe they are, they should be able to serve them on pit road. So we'll wait and see where they all shake out as The 14 appears to be on pit road as well. On your screen, about a half dozen or so coming down to get attention on their cars. Marhefka, Dale Glessner just leaving pit road at this point, and Dale Glessner, black flag for exiting pit road. The 10 is going to have to come back down.
That's a tough break for Glessner, having a good solid run here so far this evening, but another round of drivers coming on down pit road being led by the champ John Peters in that 09 car. Going to come down and get some service to that machine, as well as some other cars. Lord is down, Casagrande, Lewandowski, U-House, Salvatore, all down on pit road, as well as Jared Adams in the 43 Toyota. Going to get some tires and some fuel. Evan Belvedere going to come down here as well. Oh, Evan Belvedere, look out! Coming in hot.
Backwards the wrong way and onto pit road. He is already there, so no caution flag is going to fly, even though he comes back on the other side of the commitment cones. I don't think that'll be an unsafe pit entrance. Depending where he tripped the line, I think he is good right now. No black flag showing, but he is on to pit road to get service to his race car. Stephen Daddio still on the racetrack. He is your leader. One would believe he'd be coming down here, and he is not. He's going to stay on the racetrack. And a side note for Dale Glessner, for all his fans, he has, it looks like, retired that race car for the evening.
Tough break for the 10 car, and tough break for the 56 car as well, having a solid run and just messing that entrance up. And we talked about that, Tim, a little bit, not even 10 laps ago, really, where a lot of these drivers practice all day long on track, but didn't quite practice the entry to pit road. As we can see, Matt Kenfield, the only taker this lap down on pit road. Steve Daddio staying out to lead himself a couple of laps. He's actually coming off of pit road now, it looks like. Still being scored as, or no, coming into pit road now. There you can see him hitting that commitment code, and that's going to hand the lead over to Mr. Brent Roy, holding out lap number 38. And, well, we saw him do a little fuel strategy racing a couple weeks back here on Medane TV, so maybe we're going to see a little bit more of the same from the 26 car.
Kopech is on pit road. Kentfield just leaving. DJ Gerard, I believe, is coming down into pit road this lap by. Indeed, he will. And the only drivers still left on the racetrack, Brent Roy and Scott McDonald, I believe, are the only two that have yet to come get service. You just saw John Peters take the lap back from Brent Roy, so that'll put the 09 car on the cycle ahead of everybody else, but on the tail end of the lead lap is Roy and McDonald have yet to come down pit road on this green flag run, and they're trying to stay out as long as they can. They can obviously, Paul, make it on fuel as long as they pack the tank full. So it's not a matter of fuel, it's a matter of them hoping for a caution flag to get some position, because I would almost believe if a caution flag came out, they might get that, as Roy is going to come down into pit road, got everything that he could on that run, so the 26 car will come down. That leaves Scott McDonald as the last driver on the racetrack that has yet to come down pit road, and he will stay out one more and try to lead this lap.
Going to get him a lap led in the number 44 machine here on lap number 40, and more than likely going to come down at next time by, and it should, in theory, cycle out with John Peters as the leader in the 09 car, but we'll double check that in just a lap or two. DJ Gerard still down on pit road. Extended stop there for the number 13 car. He's down and away finally. We're going to lose a lot of spots there on pit road, and you can see the 44 of Scott McDonald finally throwing in the white towel. He's going to come down. Needs those tires on that 44 car. Needs them badly.
So the 44 will cycle through and complete pit service. And that should put the leader back up top as the 09 and John Peters. But, Paul, the difference is, I think, over 5 seconds. We've got two stopped here on the front straightaway. That will draw the caution at Ship and Ryan Libby. And that will bring the caution flag out. And we'll see where this cycles everybody through. I believe John Peters is still going to go back to the top of the board. And it was about 6 seconds between himself and Keith Lord. And for the first time this evening, we bring up the U-House Racing Designs instant replay. Paul, what happened to bring out our first caution flag of the evening?
For the first time ever, the YRD Designs instant replay. Pretty excited to have them on board. Be sure to check them out over on Facebook. Lots of button boxes, paint schemes, everything you need for your iRacing rig, both inside and out. But we're going to take a peek here. Look at this 48 car. Follow along with the 46 of Libby as well. You see Kentfield in the picture there as well, and the 76 down on the bottom side. And the 46 goes down low all the way down to the apron. He clips the apron, comes back up, and it looks like he just loses the back end of the race car, comes back up into the 48, and both drivers go careening into the outside wall. So major contact for the 48 car, major contact for the 46 as well. And it looks like everybody grabs a gear and gets pointed in the right direction and back on track. But that's a tough break for both the 48 and the 46. You can see Libby having some major damage on the front of that race car, as well as the 48 car of Brian Shipp. So these guys going to be down on pit road. No quick repairs here. But one thing we got to keep in mind here, Tim, one more set of tires for everybody out here on the racetrack. So you might see some guys come down and try and take some of those.
And that's a rare mistake out of Ryan Libby. It's one of those drivers that in this series that you don't expect to make a mistake or have that little falter, but nobody is perfect and nobody is bulletproof. And now the 46 is going to have to come down pit road to get that quick repair. And if he doesn't have the quick repair, his night may be done because he does have a meatball. So he'll have to come down and service a race car. Speaking of meatballs, I was told earlier, Paul, if you remember back to the Lord Spotting Services Oxford 250 qualifier we had here on Tuesday, Cody LeBlanc, whatever you want to call him. I know I think he's on an aircraft somewhere, flying back and forth and watching us on Vidane TV. Want to say hello to him, but I was talking to series officials, and lap 1 in the qualifier went off in turn 3. I missed the leaderboard at Oxford, but hit the chain link fence. Now, I was told by the NEPs officials on good word that they shut the lights off at Virtual Oxford and decided they weren't coming back until, obviously, the 250 coming up here in a week and a half next Saturday here on Vidane TV. But told that the chain link fence had not been repaired and that car is still sitting there, hence why Mr. LeBlanc is not here this evening. So I want to wish Cody all the best, safe travels wherever he's going to, but half the reason is because he's unavailable and half the reason is because his car is unavailable to compete in NEPs tonight.
So what we're going to do is we're going to leave everything hooked up here in the production trailer. We're just going to leave it outside. We'll put it in the shed here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We'll take the truck back. We'll load the car up, and then maybe we'll slap a 94 sticker on it. We'll try and run it next week.
You're going to need some help with that car, though. That car's a little bit tore up.
Well, so am I.
It is what it is. Field, I believe next time by is going to double up and get ready to go back to green. Now, not a long run per se. It's going to be about 20 laps, which is where that 09 car of John Peters kind of hits the sweet spot. He's going to have the clean air up in front. Keith Lord going to be in second. Charles Lewandowski, Corey Casagrande, Stephen Daddio, your top 5. Through all that pit cycle, Mr. Belvedere is scored in 20th, and I'm not sure, you might be able to tell me, Paul, did he come in and take tires on this caution flag? I believe he was down pit road, so maybe he did take tires on this caution flag. So he's way out at the back trying the Brent Roy strategy, but I don't know if it's going to work, Paul, because we didn't run a ton of laps there.
Yeah, taking a peek now at the graphic, you can see pretty much 33 to 35. McDonald made it 40 laps on that first stretch there. And then it's been about 9 or 10 laps since that caution. So a couple of drivers coming down pit road. Roy Casagrande, Belvedere, back 18th on back, came down, got that extra set of tires that's down on pit road. Going to get the restart with 21 laps to go. So I don't know. It's going to be one of those things where we may very well see those tires come in later on in this 20-lapper.
If we go 10 more laps and get a caution and we restart with 8, 9, 10 laps to go, do you take the gamble, no pun intended, because we're in Vegas, do you take the gamble of coming down pit road and getting those tires and throwing away your track position? It's a tough call to make, and I'm sure Larry Mack could answer us with the trends, but that crew was getting ready to go green here, and Peters has taken the outside line in the GNG 09, the 17 NH, Keith Lord to the inside. Casagrande, Lewandowski, row number 2, and Jason Ricker back there with Stephen Daddio on row number 3. Pace car is in. Your lead car is the outside car as we get ready to see the pace car peel off. There it goes. And field in command of John Peters, the 2-time and reigning Shift Marketing and Design, a Grand National champion. Green flag is out.
And you can see he gets a phenomenal restart in that 09 car. Had a lot of practice on the restarts, but the 17 of Lord going to try and peak down low right on that white line on the apron. He's going to think better of it and kind of drift up the track just a little bit. You can see Lewandowski with a great run down on the bottom side. He's bringing Casagrande with him on the outside. A little 2x2 battle there for that second, third, fourth, fifth on back. About 5 cars. Oh, big time loose there for, I believe that was Ricker there down on the bottom side, right in front of Messer. It is indeed Ricker, but he gathers it back up and he keeps it pointed in the right direction, and he's still going to keep those sights set on the 7, the 17, the 01, all the drivers in front of him. Oh, by the way, here comes Dadio on the outside for Mr. Feelgood's on that car, and he is feeling frisky up on that high side, and you can see John Peters making an evasive maneuver to try and get up to that high side and arc that corner in, and you can see it definitely did pretty good on the stopwatch. 3.5 tenths of a second lead now over Lord in the second position.
Chalou had a great run there the last time by into corner number 3 to try to pick something. Look at this run. He drives it in way deep down into corner number 1, and somehow that thing sticks. Corey, I believe, not going to let him have the spot. He's going to hang on the right rear quarter of the Brembo 01, and they're still going to be side by side for that position. And Dadio trying to find a way to go. Where did Zane Farrell come from? The 14 car to the inside of the 9 and behind them as they battle it out for a spot. Zaney's on his way to the front.
In the words of the great Meatloaf, or Meatball, I guess, after he lost all that weight, you took the words right out of my mouth. How about it? The pretty white race car. It just doesn't feel right. The pretty pink race car, the number 14 of Zane Farrell, knocking on the back door of the top 5. You can see side by side right now for Ryan Messer for that 7th position. But he's right there with Ricker, right there with Dadio. But he's also got a mirror full of Mike Hopkins. How about that? The 78 car in the top 10. Marhefka in the 22 car there in 9th. We got ourselves a race here with 17 laps to go at Las Vegas, Tim.
And keep your eye on the battle for the lead after, I don't want to say being held up by Charles Lewandowski, but after battling Charles Lewandowski for a couple laps, Keith Lord has found his way free and to the back bumper, or at least within a car length of John Peters for that top spot, the 99 of Dadio, the 7 CT of Corey Casagrande, trying to keep pace with those two in front, but mentioned off the hop, Keith Lord for about 10 to 15 laps or so. Probably the fastest car on this racetrack. And right now, they have 15 laps, and we've already run a few in this run. So we'll see how this all shakes out. But Keith Lord looking like he has something here for John Peters as we'll come by this time and have 15 laps remaining in the NEPbets Challenge here at Las Vegas.
And one of the unsung heroes here in the NEPs League, the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Group, the Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, is Ryan Salvatore. Keeps track of all the stats, points, everything we could possibly need to really paint a picture here with this NEPs group. And one of the things that he's got here is a spreadsheet with the point standings, how many wins, losses, all that good stuff. Overall for the season, this year, last year, this style track, all the different types of stats that you could possibly think of. It makes me wonder if Larry Mack uses it as a cheat sheet for his trends, but I digress. And one of the things that kind of stands out here as a sore thumb, John Peters has, in fact, won so far this season. He's got 1 win this season. Lord, in second place, does not. He's hungry. That 17 car wants to park that thing in victory lane. He wants to get himself a win, and this will be the 9th race of the season. 8 different winners so far. The only repeat winner is going to be that guy that won 2 races there, Kenny Kippy, coming in here 4th in the points. And it's crazy to think Zane Farrell leading the points right now by 3, hasn't won a race yet, but he's got 5 top 5s.
And you look at the drivers that have won the non-points races. Mr. Belvedere's won a points race. He won the All-Star race as well at Daytona. So there's that momentum gameplay per se in this auto racing sport, whether real or virtual. And Mr. Belvedere, after taking those tires up to 12th, still got some work to do. Stephen Dadio on this run's fallen back a little bit after battling up within the top 3. He is now outside of the top 5 and trying to chase down Charles Lewandowski for what would be your check that. Dadio now to 5th, chasing down Lewandowski for position number 4. And Keith Lord continues to close in on John Peters. You see Marhefka on the outside there, one of the drivers who took the NEPbets Challenge in the 22. Just inside the top 10 as you now ride on board with Keith Lord. Look at the run that he has down into corner number 3. And Peter, we got one back in the wall. That might be you, U-House, and that definitely is the 3. That will draw the caution, and that was a hard hit for the U-House Racing Design, number 3.
That's a tough break because that is a gorgeous, gorgeous race car. I really like that old Dale Jr. throwback paint scheme with a little bit of a twist on it, slapping the old 3 on it, giving a little bit of a blue hint, and one of my favorite paint schemes in this league. And a little 3 wide action. Looks like we just barely missed it. And you can see here as we pull up the U-House Racing Designs instant replay and take a peek at it. Follow along with the 3 of the 22. There's Mike Hopkins in the 78. We'll see if he gets a little damage out of this. Hopefully not. There you can see the 22. Looks like he scraped the wall just a little bit. Here comes Belvedere down on the bottom side. U-House up on the high side. And, well, the other U-House in the middle there in the 3. And there is the contact with the outside save for barrier. I'm sorry, the 22 car. No, that's Marhefka. So we'll get the name straight. And we've only been dealing with these guys for, 3 seasons now? But major front end, major rear end damage on that number 3 Camaro. He's going to have to come down pit road and make a little magic happen with the crew. But how about pit road? Everybody except for Belvedere and Roy have come down to the pits.
This is where I set off that last caution, where if we get a restart with 8, 9, 10 laps to go and there's an extra set of tires in the pits for these guys, who stays out, who takes track position over anything else? Peter's going to be the first off of pit road, and we wait to see who else fires from pit road. And a slow exit there, Keith Lord and Ryan Salvatore going to race off of pit road for second place off. But those 2 that are on the racetrack, I believe, took their tires in the last caution. And 2 tires, 2 right side tires for Salvatore. And I would almost believe, I'd have to go back and take a look, but I the way Peters launched off of pit road, I think he took 2 right side tires too. And indeed, I don't think the left sides went up on that car.
Yeah, taking a look now at the times here, and well, that doesn't really tell me anything. Sometimes these graphics here do awesome things here for us, and sometimes, well, they don't. But I definitely do think it was a 2-tire stop for Peters, just because it was such a huge gap between he and the next car that came off. And I think the next car that came off was, in fact, that number 12 car of Ryan Salvatore. So great pit stop, gained himself a couple of spots. He's going to be running in the 6 spots once we get going here.
But if you're Keith Lord, you're probably licking your chops right now. Sitting up here in the top 5 or so. I believe there was a couple more cars that did stay out on the racetrack. Kopech and Kibbe also stayed out on the racetrack. Libby is a lapped car, so he'll go to the back of the field here. But that'll put Peters in 5th. That'll put Salvatore in 6th. And 7th will be Keith Lord. So is 7 laps enough for Keith Lord to get by 6 cars? And can he get by John Peters on 2 tires compared to Keith Lord on 4 tires? So let's see how this gamble pays off. Is there a caution that flies here in the next couple laps? This has been, I think, one of the most intriguing races I think we've had all season long on this NEPs series.
Yeah, we've had a couple of long green flag runs. We had some green flag pit stops earlier on mixed in, and now we've got some big time strategy under this. The second caution of the night with 9 laps to go, and for the most part, everybody's still in this one. 22 cars still on the lead lap. Brian Shipp down on pit road, getting some damage repaired on the 48 car, the 46. A couple of laps down, Ryan Libby, DJ Gerard, Dale Glessner parked down in the garage from an earlier incident. But still 22 cars strong here at Las Vegas, and less than 10 laps to go. And we're going to find out here if we're going to get ourselves another first-time winner this season, or if we're going to have ourselves a second driver to double it up for this 3rd season here at Las Vegas.
Lights should come off the pace car this time, and we'll be back to green flag racing in one more lap and try to figure out who is going to take away this NEPbets race. Mr. Belvedere has decided to take the outside line, trying to get another win. Brent Roy trying to go back-to-back on kind of the reverse strategy that he won the race at Charlotte with last week. Kenny Kibbe, Dylan Kopech, your top 4, and then everybody else on new tires of some sort from that last stop. And we'll see how this all shakes out as we get ready to go green here in about a half lap, and see who ends up in victory lane on this 1.5-mile race before we start looking towards some short track stuff here on the NEP series. And the big one on the schedule, Paul, coming up next weekend, the G&G's Oxford 250.
Yeah, 100%. Really looking forward to that race and really just the meaning behind it and the story behind it. And if you're not sure what we're talking about, if you're new to the NEPs League or hear our friends here of Vidane TV, just go on any social media platform, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, anything. Look for the hashtag Racing for GNG, and you'll see just how many lives that this man is, Greg Peters, touched, both on the racetrack, off the racetrack. Just a phenomenal man that we unfortunately lost to cancer just a few months ago. John Peters' father here in the '09 car, and a really good friend of ours here at Vidane TV, and it's cool to have the GNG's gift on board, the sponsorship of the Oxford 250. But before we get there, we got 7 laps to go here at Las Vegas, and a little bit of a jumbled up start there from these drivers. But Belvedere, how about him holding on to the lead over Brett Roy?
Can somebody tell Dylan Kopech that we restarted the race? He fell like a rock. I don't know if he missed a shift or didn't go or whatever. Roy is going to the lead. Peters is going to second. They're trying to get by Kopech and Salvatore for about 5th. And now Brent Roy somehow has the lead with John Peters in behind. And now how wide do you make that recar number 26? Peters to the outside on 2 fresh tires trying to take it away from the 26.
And this is going to be a dogfight. Brent Roy has himself a victory here, as does John Peters. They want to be the second driver to try and come home with multiple wins here in season number 3. And you can see John Peters with those new tires driving right around Brent Roy on the outside, making it look easy. So it looks like with 5 to go, a high five from Barney up in the flag stand. John Peters just has to hit his marks. But man, look at this hornet's nest in behind him. A bunch of drivers that want to win. They want to have themselves a good race. They want to entertain the masses. And we're 3 wide with 5 laps to go here at Las Vegas. Look at that run from the 99 of Daddio.
The way they're running, somebody is about to end up on their dome in the middle of this racetrack. It's just a matter of who ends up being the lucky candidate. There goes Lewandowski to the inside, and he's going to give a little door check to Daddio in front. Salvatore trying to put a top 5 effort in for the 12 car. He's to the inside of Lord, and Brent Roy.
Oh,
big
wreck. Oh, Lewandowski flipping, rolling into the fence. Oh, we got another car stuck in the fence. Caution flag is not out. Caution flag is out. Caution flag is out.
So if you had Charles Lewandowski on his dome about a half lap out before I said it, thank you. Well, he's actually going to roll. Somehow the 0-1 car still has power, smoke coming from that race car, but that was big. That was huge. We'll send it down to the YRD instant replay and started around here. I saw Lewandowski leaning on that Daddio car on the outside, Paul, and then I saw the battle for the lead go at it. What happened here?
Well, we got a rule here at Vidane TV here for the U.S. Racing Designs instant replay. If somebody flips upside down multiple times, we got to take a look at the cockpit view. So here we go. We're on board with the 01. You can see side by side with Daddio, the 17 of Lord right up in front of Daddio there, and the 99 trying to make it work in between Lewandowski and Lord. Didn't quite work. Lewandowski a little bit loose coming out of 4, holds on to it. There you can see Brent Roy down in the apron big time, and there's I didn't catch the contact. That might have been Kopech. We're going to see some ground, sky, sparks, ground, sky, sparks, sparks, ground, ground, sparks, ground, sky, fans, car, ground, more ground. Landed it. Stuck the landing. 10 out of 10. But we're going to back that up one more time. We like to have fun here at Vidane TV, because if you're not having fun, what the heck are you doing with your life? But we'll take a look from outside of the race car. There you can see a little bit of contact between the 01 and the 99. And here comes Ricker side by side with Zane Farrell. Kopech is in there as well. And there's the contact. Zane Farrell hard into the outside wall at 14 car. That's the points leader. That's going to be a big shakeup in the point standings. And there you can see some of the flippy doos. All flips, no fifths there for Charles Lewandowski in the 01.
This is the final attempt, or the only attempt, that we will have at a green-white checker finish. Ryan Libby has retired from this race, and I believe Jason Ricker has had his black flags cleared this evening. So he's currently in position number 9, or 4, check that without a penalty, and he'll restart from there. And Paul, we forgot one race. We keep talking about the G&G's Oxford 250. We're here next Thursday. Did you see on the schedule where we're at?
Aren't we at Talladega next week?
We're at Talladega next week.
Oh, so that's going to be fun. I am going to get that car out of the fence. I'm racing that race next weekend.
I'm surprised Kyle Young's not here tonight, but you better believe Kyle Young will be here next week.
Oh, 100%. We'll make sure we get him on the phone, and maybe we'll get him to do a little in-car reporting from Talladega, a little super speedway racer in his own right. Might even try and talk to a couple of other super speedway cats that we see here on Verdane TV every now and again. Maybe spice the pot up just a little bit, but green-white checkered, set up here. John Peters out front. Brent Roy stayed out on that last caution flag. He is running second. Kenny Kibbe running in third. Keith Lord and Ryan Salvatore rounding out the top five. Daddio, Kopech, Hopkins, Belvedere, and Devin Marhefka in the 22 rounding out the top 10. Taking a quick peek, looks like 20 cars currently on the lead lap. Check that, 21 cars. Ryan Messer just got the wave around in that number 1 car. We're lining them up 2 by 2, Tim, all the way through. 3 laps to go, getting the restart with popsicle sticks in the air. Who's your pick? Who's coming home with the victory?
It's going to be hard to beat John Peters, especially being up in front, but Keith Lord sitting in position number 4. If he can somehow get by Brent Roy and have something, I think 2 laps too short of a run for Keith Lord, but you better believe he wants to get a top 3 finish before this thing is all said and done. And oh, by the way, we have 2 laps to go, and Mike Hopkins in 8th. I don't know if we can take a look at that race car, Paul, before we go green, but I said it last week at Charlotte late in the race. Look at that. Clean, not a mark on it. 2 laps to go. Dodge that last wreck. See if we can get through it.
100%. You got to keep an eye, though, on that 99 car. I swear on these restarts, he's got a nitrous button in that race car somewhere. Usually gains himself a couple of spots right off the rip and then finds himself a spot to settle in. But we are long past settling in. We need to find ourselves a winner for the NEPbets race here at Las Vegas. John Peters going to take the restart, and going to be Brent Roy starting in second.
Now they need to get back to the white in order to make this thing official and race it out to the checkered. If they can't get back to the white, that race will be completed as the 26, hot on the back bumper of the 09 of John Peters. Kibbe to the inside of Lord and Daddio there as well. Peters extending the lead. Paul, do they get back to the white flag? They're battling it out for second. Peters has the advantage, and they will see the white flag.
This race is official next time by, and how about Brent Roy trying to hold off the hard-charging Lord in the 17 car on the outside, gets right down in him. He's going to bring Daddio with him in the 99 car. Brent Roy going to slip on back to the 4th position, move the 17 and the 99 up to 2nd and 3rd. Here comes Salvatore in that number 12 car, but right now it's all John Peters, the 09 car, entering down into turns 3 and 4. Going to be the second driver this season to win multiple races. John Peters, your winner here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Keith Lord on 4 tires on the last pit stop, just didn't have enough time. Comes home in second, Stephen Daddio, Brent Roy. And how about the run for Ryan Salvatore, first top 5 of the season. A little bit of pit strategy, comes home in position number 5. Kibbe, Hopkins, Devin Marhefka, Scott McDonald, great run to 9th. And Brandon Marhefka, your top 10. Great run by these NEPs guys. Interesting race, very entertaining race. Lots of green flag racing, pit strategy at the end, and a green-white checker to see Peters come away with it. Oh, by the way, Kenny Kibbe and Marhefka took the NEPbets challenge. They couldn't get back to the win, but as we mentioned, 6th and 8th, respectively, there in that finishing order. So hats off to them for going to the back of the field and coming back up through, but not being able to double the charity givings from NEPbets. But maybe we can twist our arm a little bit and make them add that extra money anyway as Peters lights it up on the front.
100%, and this is a dangerous game for the rest of the field to play. John Peters picking up a second win on the season. Had a slow start to season 3, but really starting to pick it up and put him down, and starting to kind of set the racing world on fire here just a little bit. And we're going to talk to the race winner here as well as the 2nd and 3rd place finishers here, but we're going to try and dial up the winner of tonight's race, John Peters, the reigning, defending, 2-time New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series champion, John Peters, doing a little Polish victory lap after burning those rear tires off. How about it, John? Dominating performance here at Las Vegas.
Paul, I love that intro. I feel like I got my personal Bruce Buffer up here. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Really excited to finally get back to victory lane here and have a smooth race, really, with not too much controversy. I was not thrilled about that last caution, but we're able to weather the storm, get those spots back, and come out with it in the end.
And really made it look easy here at Las Vegas as you continue to go around and salute the fans there. And it's been kind of a slow start to the season for the '09 camp. A little bit of trouble in the first couple of races, but you're now the second driver to win 2 races here this season. And you came in third in points, having a great points night. Unfortunately, Zane Farrell, the points leader, found himself in a late race wreck. So a phenomenal points night here for you as well. And heading into Talladega next week, man, oh man, it's kind of an unknown just a little bit. So what have you got going on next week for Talladega?
Yeah, those races tend to be wild cards, which is why I think races like this are so important. You have to put yourself in a good position to be able to handle any misfortune that you have in those. And I feel pretty comfortable about how I've run on the super speedways. It just it's kind of a game of being in position at the end. So we'll try to do that again. But better than anyone, it's a complete game of luck at those tracks. So we'll try to keep it clean and come out with a smooth finish, and then get ready for 250 laps around a rubber band.
100%. Another doubleheader next week for NEPs as well. Just like this week, Thursday we're at Talladega, and then next weekend, the G&G's Oxford 250. I know you've got a very special spot in your heart for that race. I'm looking forward to that as a fan. I'm looking forward to it as a producer. You got to be looking forward to it as a racer for sure.
Absolutely, and I appreciate Corey and Zane letting us call it the G&G's Oxford 250 and promoting G&G's gift through that race as well. I think it'll be a great show. I think we saw that in a preview there on Tuesday night in our qualifiers. I expect nothing less when we come back next weekend. I'm super excited about it. Fun track. It'll be a long race, so we'll have to see who can stick around and make it all the way to the end. But nevertheless, it's a fun challenge, and looking forward to it.
Now, from what I understand, I heard some grumblings throughout the garage area. We got a big event coming up this weekend that we may or may not be announcing G&G's first gift there.
That's right. Yeah, we're planning to do that this Saturday night at the Northeast Motorsports Expo in Augusta, Maine, the Augusta Civic Center. We're going to announce the winner of the first annual G&G's gift, Craig Peters Memorial Sponsorships. So we're super excited to do that. We're going to kind of work that into the awards portion of the program, and we need to really thank Steve Perry and Mainly Motorsports and the Northeast Motorsports Expo for working with us on that, to partner with them to do this announcement. Super excited. I'm hoping for a good turnout, and we're going to make someone pretty happy, I hope.
100%. Really looking forward to that announcement as well. That's the G&G's Oxford 250 and the rest of the season here coming up. Picking them up, putting them down, win number 2 here on the season, John. We know you don't do it alone. Who gets it done for the virtual 09 team?
I sure don't. First, need to thank you guys, Paul and Tim, for doing this, and thanks again for having me the other night. Appreciate that. Appreciate NEP and Shift for putting this on. Thanks to my mom for watching, my fiance and my 2 dogs for letting me do it. And then, of course, G&G's gift, Libby Septic Service, Derek Nealon Racing, 4 Season Synthetic, Digby's Variety, Turn 4 Automotive, and a shout out to 229 Autosport. Again, a solid run for our Canadian friend Brent Roy, who used the tire strategy to his advantage. He's taken us all to school on that. So happy for Brent and proud of our team.
100%. Another solid, dominating performance here for the 09 crew and John Peters. Congratulations. Win number 2 on the season.
Thanks, gentlemen.
And Tim, I believe you've caught up with our second place finisher, Jesus H. Christ himself, Keith Lord in the 17 car.
Yeah, caught up with the driver of the 17 car, Keith. Besides maybe a couple more laps at the end, what else did you need to get up here and make a move on John Peters?
Yeah, I mean, obviously John's really tough to beat. He's super good at this iRacing thing. I don't know. I know he took 2, which I was definitely surprised at. So that definitely gave me some hope. But once he got a few spots in front of me before that last caution, I kind of knew at that point it was probably kind of over for me. I definitely made some kind of aggressive moves trying to pinch some guys down the bottom just because it was so hard. I knew if I lost any more spots, I wasn't going to have a chance. But it was a lot of good, clean, hard racing up front. It was a lot of fun.
So another great qualifying effort. Put yourself in the poll here this evening. But the other 2 in the top 3 took the NEPbets challenge. Why didn't you take it?
Because I knew that I probably wasn't going to be able to climb through the field like that. I mean, I'll still give to charity, because I'm such a good guy. You know what I mean? I'll have to figure something out. I won an NEPbets. Maybe I'll just donate the rest of that. It's such a cool thing that John Peters does, and I'll definitely be given to that foundation. I've had a pretty good year this year. Besides, the one race that kind of took me out of contention for the points out when I got wrecked by Brendan Marhefka. So it's definitely good to finally get a podium and run up front.
So we head, before we go to Oxford, obviously that's going to be the big show next weekend, but Talladega, these big racetracks have seemed to put that 17 near the front of the field. It's a wild card at Talladega, but can we do it there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you go back to the race at Daytona, I was running third. I kind of put myself in a position there to win at the end. And I just got caught up in a wreck on the last lap. So definitely, I'm a fan of the plate tracks. It's just tough to beat those 229 guys because obviously they work together and they work together well. So hopefully I can find some friends this time and just try to get up there and have some drafting help.
Well, you got 7 days to find some friends. Who's on this race car? Who helps you get to the racetrack?
Yeah, Shamrock Nation Racing, Cody LeBlanc Racing, Lord Spotting Services, YRD Designs. U-House does some really killer designs, and we've got some other really fun stuff coming up for the Endurance Series, so I'm looking forward to that. Just everyone who puts this, Vidane, I'm probably saying that wrong because I don't get to talk to you guys, but you guys do such an incredible job, and thanks for everything that you do.
Now, is it true that you guys haven't peeled that Cody car out of the chain link fence at Oxford yet?
Yeah, no, it's still there. Mayberry's kind of yelling at us a little bit to get it out, but I think it's going to have to stay there a few more days.
Well, there you go. You got a weekend to figure it out. Keith Lord finishes in position number 2 here this evening. And Paul, another guy that seems to like these mile-and-a-half racetracks, Stephen Daddio, finishes 3rd.
Yeah, we've caught up with the driver of the 99, and Daddio having himself a great run here. Very strong race car here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, coming home with the 3rd place finish. And talk to us, man. A great run, very, very strong race car. What did you need to get up past Lord and Peters?
Talent, I think. At the end there, I think, God, the way the race unfolded, I thought it went exactly the way I kind of thought it would. We were going to run a long green up front, everyone saving tires for a bit, and then I figured somewhere near the middle we'd get a caution. I didn't really anticipate that last one, but the plan was the whole time to kind of save tires for the end, and that kind of worked out.
And we saw that 99 car strong in both short runs, long runs, but didn't quite have enough to get up towards the P1 there at the end of the race. And did you need like a longer green flag run, or do we need tires? What do we need to get up towards the front?
I think if there was really any shot, I think the shorter run, I was definitely more comfortable. It seemed like the longer the ran went, the car, I just, for whatever reason, I can't find the line where I can save the tire enough and still be fast at this track anyway. So if I think I had some fresh tires and a shorter run, I might have been able to do it. But the two guys in front of me ran a great race. It's a lot of fun with running with them, Johnny and Keith, and it's just good to be back up on the podium.
100%. A good points night as well, coming in with this will be the 3rd top 5 on the season, with a win on the season as well. And with the points leader Zane Farrell having a late race wreck, going to be a good points night for sure. But want to give you an opportunity here, Steve, to thank anybody that makes it happen for that virtual 99 team, friends, family, sponsors, partners, teammates, anybody that makes it happen. The floor is all yours.
Definitely. I got to say thank you to my wife for letting me do this. My parents, they're always watching, and my family, they're somewhere out there on the YouTube verse, checking this thing out. They're having fun. I'm having fun. It's a lot of fun to be a part of this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. Another solid performance for the 99 car, and we can't let you go without asking, Talladega, 7 days from tonight. What do you got?
I like it. I like the super speedways. I don't know. I ran pretty good in the All-Star race, and if it wasn't from my own fault at Daytona at the beginning of the year, I don't know. I feel good. That's how I started sim racing, was on the super speedways long ago now, and I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good going into Talladega.
I think we're all feeling pretty good heading into Talladega next week. Again, another doubleheader next week. Talladega Thursday night, and then next weekend going to be the Oxford 250 brought to you by GNG's Gift. So that's going to be a heck of a lot of fun here. But a good, solid finish here for the 99 team. And I want to give you the opportunity to thank friends, family, sponsors if I didn't already do that.
Oh, I got them already. Thank you guys for putting on the show. I know everybody at home really appreciates it. You do a hell of a job.
Always good to hear the good words and a good solid finish again for the 99 of Steve Daddio. Having a quietly good season, barely breaking into that top 5 here into the points as we get closer and closer to that championship race here in a couple of months' time at Bedane TV. But congratulations, third place finish here at Las Vegas.
Thanks, guys.
Now, Tim, with the post-race show, we usually only do the top 3, but the fourth place finisher, Brent Roy, had an interesting dynamic at the end of the race, and I believe you've caught up with him down there on pit road.
I thought we were going to go and get Mike Hopkins because he actually finished in the top 10 tonight, but instead let's talk to Brent Roy. Brent, let's talk about the tire strategy because it was a reverse strategy than what we had last week when you went to victory lane. Talk about trying to hold off that 09 at the end.
Impossible. It's just too fast. It felt like reverse of where we were at Charlotte, but tires. I jokingly said in practice, tires win races, and that's what won here tonight. So we were hoping to catch a caution and kind of pin some guys a lap down. Didn't happen, but a lot of fun playing strategy and just kind of doing what the leaders don't. But nice to see this TCM car back in the top 5 yet again.
Yeah, 2 top 5s in the last 2-point races here, including that win that you had at Charlotte. We head to another sort of racetrack where you've had strength, and that's a super speedway at Talladega. So what are the chances there, knowing that it is a super speedway?
I think John put it really well. It's a wild card. You really don't know. You can get caught up in a wreck, but I enjoy the plate racing. I enjoy that you're kind of on an equal playing field with everybody, and it's more of a chess match and a strategy game. So we'll see where we are with 3 or 4 laps to go in that particular race. That seems to be where we kind of poke out and say hi. But we're pretty excited for that one too.
Now, is it true that you're going to put on a masterclass in pit strategy and try to teach these guys how to make that strategy work?
No, I make it up as I go, and sometimes I get lucky. So that's what we're going to go with. Sometimes when you go to Vegas, it's good to get lucky, and that's what we got here tonight.
Absolutely. Who's on the race car? Who makes it happen to get to the virtual racetrack?
None other than Tim's Corner Motorsports. Everything they do for sim racing, real racing, everything all around. Super pumped to see those guys putting on a race tomorrow night. We're going to load this exact car up, and we're going to head to Atlanta, Georgia, and see what it does on the high banks there. Bedane TV, Corey Zane, everybody at NEP, Shift Marketing, everything they do there too.
There's Brent Roy, 4th place finisher here this evening, and Paul, another great show. And it's still early to talk points. We still got about half the season to go, but the point leader, Zane Farrell, 14. Let's pack that up in 24th and forget about tonight. Mr. Belvedere came in 2nd, one of the hottest hands in the series. Let's kind of forget about that one, too, in 13th place. John Peters, 3rd in points, comes home with a win. Kenny Kibbe, 4th in points, comes home with a top 10 finish in 6th. And our 5th place driver we just talked to in 4th. So, Paul, the points are probably going to either shake up or get a little bit closer as we head into something that's probably going to shake them up again at Talladega.
Yeah, lots of different storylines heading into Talladega next week, and that's only going to add to the storylines heading into the GNG's Oxford 250 coming up next weekend as well. But I mean, you made mention the 78 car. How about it? We got to talk to Magnum Michael Hopkins here. Finished in the top 10 with a clean damn race car. Mike, you got a copy?
What's up, John?
What's going on,
what
Mikey?
What happened? I was in the tech shed, Paul, and because I just was in there, not because I should be in there. And yeah, man, we had to pit there late, and then I messed up my pit stop and didn't have the best track position and just ran her hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. And we kid because we care here at Bedane TV, and we notice that you end up with a lot of damage at the end of each of these races, and a lot of 90% of the time it's not your doing. And we saw the same thing happen at the TCM special event here a couple of nights ago, and it was great to see a solid top 10 finish. Kind of struggling in the points a little bit, but this has got to give you at least a little bit of momentum heading into the big week next week. We got Talladega on Thursday and the Oxford 250 coming up on Saturday. So how is the 78 team feeling as we get on into the big track next week?
Yeah, answer your question right away, Paul. Good. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I've saved all the replays so that anytime anybody wants to bust my balls, I can go back to the replay. And I really want to put something together, all the wrecks that I got into, like you said, 90% weren't my fault, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Unsung hero NEP. I just keep digging every week, bringing a shovel every week, and keep digging, and keep it going. So yeah, I'm kidding a lot there, but we have fun. I was muted in our chat earlier with Tim, and I didn't realize I was muted. And Tim had kind of explained the email that went out today, which is a big deal, I think, for Tim. So kudos to you guys for doing that. I feel like when we get invited to other places, iRacing or not, and you really got to kind of, come in and do your thing. And I got wrecked in the heat race, and the guy had no idea, and I was surprised, like, really, bud. And then, got wrecked in the qualifier. What are you going to do? Unfortunately, it is what it is, but I want to come back. I did rage quit after Tim's deal, so I'm going to have to try and redeem myself.
Yeah, 100%. We definitely look forward to it. We may be able to get the broadcast tomorrow night. We're still working out all the details on that. Sponsorship opportunities still available out there. If you're looking, give old Tim Terry a shout, timscorner.ca. And you made mention there's a couple of trends here for Talladega, and there's a couple of trends for the 78 team. I do want to see if we can potentially phone a friend here. Have we got Larry Macca available on speed dial? Can we talk about trends for Talladega?
Guys, can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear, Larry.
Look, I've watched a lot of Talladega in my day, old Larry Mack, up on the pit box for Dale, and I tell you what, I have no idea what's going to happen. Take my notes and throw them out the window, guys.
Well, Larry Mack apparently has the same view as me every time we do a Verdane TV show. We don't need no stinking notes. But Mike Hopkins, a good solid finish, a top 10, a good clean race car on the Talladega. I want to give you the opportunity here, Mikey, to thank any friends, family, sponsors, anybody on that 78 team that makes it happen for you.
Yeah, first and foremost, my family's got my back. My crew chief, real life crew chief, Jared Squire, my pit crew. Really appreciate them guys coming to the racetrack every week. Skip's Outdoor Accents. If you need a shed, go to sheds.net. Blood Lubricants came on. We re-signed this year for an oil deal, real life deal, which is good. So get a percentage off of their products. Dirt Farm Racing, my brother out there doing his thing, and appreciate their contribution. O'Sullivan Welding. Couldn't show up to the racetrack without those guys, and Industrial Handling Systems appreciate their effort too. So all those sponsors appreciate it. And Tim, if you're looking for donations, shoot it out in the email if you don't mind. I'm sure with the conversion rate, it's going to be like $5 for me. So
100%. And looking forward to the things to come here on Verdane TV, and a good solid run for Mike Hopkins in the 78 car. Congratulations.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate the airtime. Take care.
100%, bud. And Tim, great show here at Las Vegas, man. A little up and down racing. We got some green flag pit stops in. We got some strategy under caution, and we got ourselves our second repeat winner here for the season.
That was one of the most entertaining races I think we've done all season long, between the green flag runs at the start, the pit strategy, and the green-white checker at the end. Congratulations once again to John Peters, and we'll roll it down the road and go to Talladega next week and see what these boys have at the big track. But busy week, not as busy as it was this week, Paul. We've got the Jim Hallahan 333 on Sunday. We're going to pay tribute to a Canadian motorsport racing legend, and I know Tyler's coming off the chip for that one. That's going to be exciting. And then we've got the doubleheader on Wednesday. Obviously, the Loose Lugs Cup Series going to be on Wednesday, and the Tim's Corner Live show. We had a great show last night with Wayne Smith. And
phenomenal show.
Yeah, it was. Me and Dylan and Denver kind of put our heads together. I think we got an idea for next Wednesday, which is kind of a bad thing if 7 days out or 6 days out of a show. But we got an idea. We brainstormed today, so we'll see what we can come up with. And then next week, Talladega. And then on, I believe, Saturday, the G&G's Oxford 250. So it's a busy week. It's a lighter week. We got a couple of days off in between, a little bit of time to breathe. I'm excited for next week.
Yeah, and lots of cool stuff coming up here on Verdane TV, kind of penciled in as well. And we're looking potentially for new series to put out and kind of highlight here. But we will, if you're interested in that, definitely slide in our DMs and let us know what you're looking for. And yeah, maybe we'll get you out on the airwaves here on Vidane TV. But another NEPs race in the books. Always a pleasure calling races for these guys. Phenomenal race. John Peters, win number 2 on the season. Only the second driver to win multiple races here in season number 3, and that's dangerous. That is dangerous for the rest of the field. Once that 09 car gets on a roll, it's going to be tough to keep up with Mr. Peters himself. So a great run. We talked to a lot of drivers post-race, talked to a couple of drivers pre-race, and we're going to wrap things up here at Las Vegas, pack everything up, and head on down to Talladega next Thursday night. That's going to be a lot of fun, and man, oh man, I'm really looking forward to that. Plate racing has a special warm spot in my heart. It's a big part of my sim racing career, and I'm really looking forward to it here next Thursday night live on Vidane TV. But that's going to cash us out here for the evening. Want to give a shout out to U-House Race Designs for jumping on board as the official instant replay sponsor here at Vidane TV for the foreseeable future. Check those guys out on Facebook, U-House Racing Designs. They do button boxes, they do paint schemes, they do logos, all sorts of stuff. Everything you think you could potentially need for sim racing or a sim racing league, these guys can take care of you. If they can't do it, they'll find somebody that can. So check those guys out for sure. Very happy to have those guys on board here at the network at Vidane TV. But that's going to wrap things up. Showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the booth alongside me, as always, on Thursday nights. Tim Terry jumping in from the Coca-Cola Series, as well as Tim's Corner Motorsports. And we got ourselves a little bit of an event tomorrow night. We got to get some details on the TCM Special Events race tomorrow night, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I was just texting Mike James to see what he was doing tomorrow night.
I know he's hanging out in the chat there, so I know he's not that busy.
Oh, there you go. Atlanta. Now, this was a request from Brent Roy, because we were talking about combinations before of what we can and cannot run and what would be fun. And he mentioned B-Car at Atlanta, and we had an open date. There's a snowstorm coming up the East Coast, so we slid it in. It's 78 laps, which I know Brent's a little hard at math, but 3 times 26 is 78, or we can call it the Magnum 78. We haven't quite figured it out yet. But that is tomorrow night, the TCM Special Events, and then on Sunday, obviously, we got the Jim Hallahan 333, but because we rolled qualifying and racing into that Sunday show, we're open for Friday. So that's what we're going to do. If you're out there and you want to get some laps in at Atlanta, get a hold of us, and we're going to put on a show tomorrow night, and hopefully we can get it broadcast, and maybe we can twist Mike's arm, and he can come up and have a couple wobbly pops and enjoy a show.
2 in the booth is what we'll call that, and we're looking forward to it as well. And be sure to check out all the social media outlets for Vidane TV. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube in a big way. There's almost 600 live racing shows on demand at your fingertips on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer, whatever you want to. Pull it up on your smart TV. You can pull it up on the projector if you wanted to. Check out some of the Vidane TV racing action live to tape, as it were. But that's going to wrap things up here for us tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Probably going to find ourselves a bar at the racetrack, hang out just a little bit. Maybe we'll find a tailgate party to crash ourselves at. But we'll catch you guys on the flip side. When we do, we're going to be doing it live.